Hey, good morning and happy Sunday morning to you. Today is Halloween, October 31st, and I am finishing up this Kevin Harvick 2021 Gravedigger, and I have decaled it. I've got 3 coats of clear sealer on it. I've got everything that I need on it so far. I'm going to mount it to this display case and list it on eBay later today. And this is what it's going to look like, right? When I'm all said and done. So I've chosen green as my color for my ties. So let's tie this up. And also I'm working, I'll show you real quick. I'm working this 2020 Kurt Busch Las Vegas win. I've got some decals in the water. And I'll decal that here in a minute. And I'd like to list that. I'm thinking maybe like, we'll see. Tuesday maybe. Wednesday. We'll see. So, I've washed my hands with Dawn soap. Just did that right before I started the video. I can't recommend that enough when you're working on these cars, especially as you get to the finishing phases of this thing. And as I'm holding the car all over the place right now, to do this, you gotta have those oils off of your hands. Unless you like smudges. I mean, some people, I don't know, some people out there might like smudges on their diecast. I can't imagine too many people do, but it could be. Could be. So I just kind of wrap them around there. Push this down tight and do it like that. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because I did a video of changing my oil or wrapping it up and kind of the last few minutes of changing my oil on my car and how I like to let the car go up on the ramps and just let it sit overnight draining. There's no reason to be in a rush to do things, and I think I've said this before on my videos, but when you're rushed, you're going to make mistakes. You are inevitably going to make mistakes. Sure, you might make mistakes if you're not rushed. You take your time. I mean, but I am much more prone, having made these customs for, 11 years, been making them for 11 years. When I am rushed, that's when the mistakes come. So just a lesson, don't be in a rush. Take your time. It's no, there's no reason to try to expedite these things and rush to get them done. At least I don't think so. And, so there was a saying I read out of a book one time about observing how God works and how Satan works. And the saying went, Satan rushes people, but God guides them. And I thought about that. I think that's, it may not be true 100% of the time, but I think in general, when we feel like we're rushed to make a decision or we're rushed, our mind's like, you got to do this now. You can't delay. I inevitably think that that's probably not something you should be doing. So, take a pause, think it over, and as you can see, I take my time working these things. All right, so I've got it wrapped around here successfully. See how I did that? Now, just kind of feed these in here. This is the way I want the car sitting. I'll hold it. Just kind of tug. And then see here. Here, let me back this up just a little bit. Might help you guys. I'm sorry. Let's get to this stage here. Just gonna kind of twist. I've told you guys before, my favorite movie is Nacho Libre. Maybe I've said that before. I don't know. But just the funny sayings out of that video, that movie. You know, I said twist, and I'm thinking, you know, when he's wrestling and he says, nipple twist. Having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have, guys. And I know, you know, life is not all, you know, fun and games, but maybe here, you know, try to keep it fun as much as we can. That's what I try to do with this hobby. I just try to enjoy it, striving for perfection, for God's glory, and just try to enjoy it. Wow, I really like this paint scheme. I don't know about you guys, but I just think it's sweet. See how when you twist it together, it kind of pulls it down onto that display case there. So what my plan is now? Well, let me. I like to cut off the excess here. Not necessarily required, but okay. What I like to do now is, got everything. Yeah. Put a coat of the X22 on it, and the X22 dries pretty quickly, and then I'll be able to take some pictures and list it. So that's my plan after church today, is to do that. No rush, but that's how I mount it on these display cases. And let's see. Yeah. Nice. So I'm not a Kevin Harvick fan, but I could imagine if you're a Gravedigger fan or a Harvick fan, that you might be interested in something like this. So cool. Very cool. Happy to have that pretty much ready, and like I said, Coda X22, and that'll be ready to go. So this is the Mountain Dew Voltage car I made, and this was some stickers that James sent me. He had some extras and sent them my way, so I've made a couple cars with them, a couple trucks. So I've got all the stickers on. I've touched up the lower valence here with black, did the roof lines black, spoiler black, did white rims on this one. But if you can see, turn this down just a little bit. You can see I tried to show this before, but it's got a sparkly, metallic, silverly, almost like a pearl metallic type finish to it. I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely one of a kind. I've never tried that before, where I sprayed the Rust-Oleum flat white, and my daughter, within like seconds, just did a dusting of the Rust-Oleum metallic and gave it that effect. You know, it was very light. So while the white was, you know, just sprayed on there, still wet, she kind of, you know, and gave it a little bit of that silvery effect. It's hard to see in the video, but I'm going to take some pictures of this, and I'll list it I've started to paint boxes. Black. So I'll list this in this box. Or, actually, I may put it in a blister pack. One of my Chase Elliott Napa blister packs that I got from Walmart. Maybe I'll do that because it's a Chase Elliott car. So, yeah, one of a kind. For sure, I've never seen a Mountain Dew Voltage white like this for Chase Elliott. So that should be a rare car for the most popular driver in NASCAR. Mr. Doug, I have completed touching up the black around here and the hood pins on this, so I just need a couple more coats of sealer and she'll be done. I'll kind of hold on to that. I know you've got some other requests in there that I need to do for you. A couple of Kenseth cars, Nationwide cars, I believe. Oh, let me show you this. So a gentleman had requested this 2007 Jeremy Mayfield number 36 360 OTC. And what's weird about this car, a couple really things really odd, is he didn't want it as a COT. He wanted it as a regular Toyota Camry body. So not only do I have to find a matching green paint, but I also had to find a 2007 Toyota Camry. Non-COT, but a cup car. Oof. So, got it. It's a Dale Jarrett. UPS number 44. Pick this up for a cool $13. Can only get those kind of deals at Walt Disney World. But regardless, I got the body. So it's a hard body to come by. You know, you don't see these 2007s that are non-COT as a Toyota, because I think 2007 was the first year that the Camry was driven in the Cup Series. And you had, you know, Michael Waltrip. You had Dale Jarrett. You had a couple other guys, I think Vickers. But finding these cars, these bodies, is super hard at a good price. That is, you know, they're easily $15 and up. So to get this for, I think it was $12.50, $13, I guess was a good price. So anyways, sharp looking car, no doubt about it. Sharp looking car. I hate to destroy it, but this is going to become a Jeremy Mayfield 36 360 OTC. So that's going to get started here shortly. All right, let's decal this monster, the side of this car, this monster car. Everything else is decaled on this thing. I did that yesterday. Got the hood pins and the trunk pins touched up. So all I need to do is get this on here, let it dry, and then I can start sealing it and putting the dull coat on it. This is why I like the water slides over the stickers. Having worked that Chase Elliott Mountain Dew Voltage, the stickers, you kind of have to be really precise when you peel it off and go to stick it on, because it is super sticky. So you kind of have to really get it in place. They don't move like that when you have the stickers. So that's why I kind of like the water slide. You can just kind of drop them near where they need to be, and then you can kind of slide them into place. Let them dry, and then go. Now I will say, the nice thing about the stickers, you know, for those of you that do the sticker cars, is once you stick them on, you can go right to sealing. There's no drying time needed. You know, they're ready to go. So, you know, that's always a positive there. Of course, you don't have to take the time to let them sit in water to lift them off of the paper. But yeah, so, you know, there's a couple positives from that is one of my pet peeves, this little arrow here. It's one of my pet peeves for decals, and it's across the board. It's not just Paytos. The little area where they account for the center spot is not matching up, right? So look here. See that area right there where it's kind of recessed? It doesn't line up. See how it's back here? It doesn't line up. So the design of the decal set doesn't line up with the diecast body. And from my experience, it rarely does on any decals across any year. Does that actually line up? So it is what it is, right? What are you going to do? All right, so this is supposed to be a 12. I got it all upside down. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll shoot you an email, Chris. But I know I messed up your Kurt Busch cars, and if you would please send them back to me, I will make it right. So I know we talked about that a few weeks ago. I haven't seen them in the mail yet. So yeah, please send them to me, and I will make them right. So. Okay. Nope. This way. So if time permits, I got a word of encouragement for you guys today. We'll see how much time is left on the video camera. Like I said, my camera kind of taps out at 29 minutes. So, and that's probably a sufficient time. It's probably too long. I know I have a hard time sometimes sitting down and watch a 29-minute video. I'll speed it up and watch it if I need to, but yeah. We had a gentleman at our men's prayer breakfast yesterday share some scriptures, and you know, the neat thing about the Bible, we were talking afterwards, is although I've been reading it pretty much every day for 30 years, there always seems to be something new every time I read it. Something jumps out, either I don't recall or just makes an impact that you know, touches you and says, "Oof, yeah, I got to work on that," or "Yeah, ooh, that's something that I need to recognize," you know. And the difference is, you know, sometimes, you know, you watch a movie again and again and again, you'll probably pick up on things you hadn't seen before, but it's just a movie. It's just a fact, you know. It's not necessarily a spiritual truth that can change your life and bless your life for that day or that moment. And that's what the scriptures does. And so yeah, if I'm done with this, I'll share that with you guys, what one of the verses that he shared that struck me. Kind of a, you know, teachable moment for me. So heart goes out to William. I know William, we talked the other day. I'm sorry for your loss. William had a death in the family, and sorry for that, my friend. Praying for you, praying for God's comfort for you. I'll also tell you guys something else. A gentleman by the name of Terry made a lot of Ryan Blaney cars for. But yeah, we email, and he actually doesn't live, but I think a couple hours from me. But I haven't heard from him in like over a month, and that's not like Terry. He's an older gentleman, and I hope everything's okay with him. I sent him 3 cars that he had requested, and I haven't heard boo from him. And so, yeah, hope everything's okay. Yeah, I know it's a crazy world we live in, and crazy things happen, and so I pray he's okay, and I'll hope to hear from him soon. So. Alrighty then, let's get this wiped up here. Don't like to leave water sitting there. Okay, so transition to sharing a scripture with you guys here. Get my Bible. So, Romans, Paul's letter to the Christians at Rome. Move this down just a little bit. So the verse that he shared was chapter 15 and verse 4. And there was a few other verses that he shared, but it says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning." Okay, kind of pause there, right? As a father, I have written letters to my daughters. And you say, "Doug, why? You live with them, every day, and you've been teaching them and kind of, living and modeling, exempling, how to live." But I wanted to write it down for them. I wanted to write it down, some of my thoughts, and to share with them. And that's kind of the way I think God is working with us. The reason that he's given us the whole Old Testament, New Testament, is that we might learn something. That we might learn about who he is, learn about what he expects of us, and learn how to live a life that is full of joy, even though there's a lot of trials and tribulations and pain that happen. So, for whatever things were written aforetime, were written for our learning. So, the other thought I had was, when we approach the Bible, and as Paul's writing to the Romans, he's really talking about the Old Testament, right? If you look at the timing of when this was written, who it was written to, and what he was talking about in that moment, some 2,000 years ago, he's saying to the Romans, the Old Testament was written for our learning. So when you approach it, your mindset as you read needs to be one of humility, one an attitude having a teachable spirit, that you're approaching the very Word of God, and you want to learn something. You go into reading and you have a hard heart, a hard spirit, hard-headed, stubborn. You're not going to learn anything. So we have to be humble. We have to approach it as a way to learn something. And I have to do that. Sometimes I'm not in that right spirit, and I have to change, and I have to adjust. Okay, so that's what he says. They're written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the Scriptures, might have hope. So this word patience, you can see my note here, abide under, endurance, and comfort, encouragement, that we might have hope. So it's kind of like a step-by-step process. we approach the scriptures, we read for learning, and then through endurance, through this patience, through the encouragement and comfort that we get of the scriptures, by the scriptures, the end result is that we might have hope. I want to turn over to another passage that I've always found very, very interesting when it comes to hope and having that comfort, right? And it's in the book of Daniel. In Daniel chapter 9, just a terrific example of a prayer, how to pray. Daniel's praying, okay, and they're having a lot of trouble, right? Because what has happened, the whole nation of Israel has been sacked, and by the Babylonians, they've been carried away into captivity. And look what he says. He says, "O Lord, this is Daniel chapter 9, Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces." Open shame, confusion of faces. There's confusion, right? When you don't have hope, you're lost. You don't know which direction to go in. And Daniel talks about this embarrassment of the nation of Israel, this okay, what now? We just lost our country. We've been carried away. Our parents are probably dead. We've been carried away into captivity. What do we do now, God? And God, are you even here? Do you even exist? What? There's a sense of hopelessness. And that's kind of what Daniel talks about here. I mean, he goes on, and he, the way he approaches God is pretty awesome, right? I set my face unto the Lord, it says, to seek by prayer, supplications, fasting, sackcloth and ashes. I prayed unto the Lord my God, made my confession and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful. That's an interesting word, but really means awesome, incredible God. Keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him, to them that keep his commandments. We have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly, have rebelled, even by departing thy precepts and thy judgments. So he talks about how he approaches God, but where he's at is he has confusion of faces. And if you were to go through Daniel chapter 9 and kind of study it, by the end of the passage, he has an angel that visits him and gives him that hope. And that's kind of, of course, this kind of happened, here in one chapter. But going back to Romans, we have to come and approach the scripture. And I say, I'm not speaking just to you guys. I'm speaking to myself primarily, right? We have to approach the scriptures with an attitude of learning. And then through patience and comfort, because that's what we get out of the scriptures. When we invest ourselves in them, we learn, we get encouraged. We learn to be patient with God. We learn to endure and abide under the problems that we have. And then we have hope. So, pray blessings for you guys today. I hope that you have hope in God and that you guys have a wonderful Halloween. And we will talk to you in the next video. God bless.